All right, Shalom. This is Paradama, the Great Millstone Houston Camp, back with another lesson to edify the elect of the nation of Israel. So before I begin, as always, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah, Ba'asham, Chakwadash, the honors, to the other apostles, to the other bishops of the Great Millstone that rule well, be a blessing and salutation unto the elect of the nation of Israel, which consists of us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and all the Israelites scattered abroad, who have received His truth and who will endure in the truth to the end. In the end is when our Lord Yahweh shall return during World War III to destroy our enemies, start with Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, all right, and their elite, and set up the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel, starting with Yahweh Shah, King David, and the rest of the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. All right, so I want to play this video, get some precepts, and one of this lesson is edifying.
That no one would listen to the superior of our ideas if our ability to organize in violence was inferior.
That's true.
I want to get into all of that, but I'll tell you where I want to start. I want to start with this. You wrote a book last year called The Technological Republic, and you quote Samuel Huntington in it, and that argues the following, argues that the rise of the West was not made possible, quote, by the superiority of its ideas or values or religion, but rather by its superiority in applying organized violence. What do you mean by that, and is that what Palantir ultimately does?
Well, I think one of the most interesting about that quote is it's indisputably and obviously true.
And you genuinely believe that the U.S., this idea of ideas, values, religion has nothing to do with it. You think it really is about organizing violence?
No. Sorry, I didn't say that our ideas aren't important. Obviously, I come from an academic family, and I was planning to be an academic before I realized it was worthless and I'd be better at building things. But
you should talk about that too.
But like, okay, one of the biggest problems we have in our elite institutions, especially our Ivy Leagues, is this indisputable truth that no one would listen to the superior of our ideas if our ability to organize in violence was inferior. That every single person in the world believes, outside of the faculty of Harvard, and certainly all of our adversaries know to be true, is viewed as something that's kind of worthy of great discussion and dispute. And the primary reason they dispute it, honestly, is because at their core, they want to undermine the superiority of Western values, which are meritocracy, rule of law, accepting that inputs and outputs are not the same, that are the basis of building this superiority on the military plane.
All right. So pretty much, he is saying this is a small hat. All right, and his name was at the end of the bottom of the video. Alex Corp, you see it right there at the bottom. CEO of Palantir, which is he's a technocrat using technology, weaponizing technology to not only uh, uses uses some technically advanced superiority over to control other nations, but also to control the American people. Right, and this is where the world is headed. This is where America is headed, and all the other countries are involved with this technology to pretty much put all the people in subjection. All right, of these different countries, starting with Esau, the so-called white man, which rules the world. This is his plan, his idea. And he's only going to get so far. It does say Yahweh Shemi Shah, but this man Alex Corp, all right, pretty much is saying the nations know it, all right, and now you American people starting to wake up and know it too, that America ideas reign supreme in the planet Earth because it's military prowess, okay, and its military ability to kick other nations in the ass. And this is biblical prophecy, okay, that Esau, Edom through America would put these other nations in subjection and ultimately they would wander after the beast. Okay. Now I want to start here, and let me see. This is Psalms 11 and 5. Yahweh tried the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hated. So Esau, he is the violent, okay, and he is the wicked that the Bible speaks of. So to Yahweh and his son Yahweh shall these Edomites are hated. They're not loved. All right. Well, simply go to Malachi 1 and 4, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. I'll start up. Malachi 1 and 2, I have loved you, said Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Yet they were twin brothers. Said Yahweh, yet I love Jacob, because the covenant went from Isaac to Jacob. All right. The blessings and the promises went from Isaac to Jacob, not Isaac to Esau. Malachi 1 and 3, I have hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. This is the future of America. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will rebuild and build the desolate places. Thus said Yahweh, they shall build, but I will throw down. So this place, America, is going to be thrown down. Thus said the Holy Scriptures. And they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh has indignation forever. So indignation is righteous anger. And this is against the Edomites forever. So no Edomite can repent. All right. And once they go down, the world will know, all right, that Esau is the border of wickedness, meaning everywhere he goes, he spreads his wickedness. All right. And how does he spread his wickedness? By force of his military. All right. That's why this man is called the hammer of the earth. All right. Hammer, hammer. Let's see. Yep, this is Jeremiah 50 and 22. A sound of battle was in the land and of great destruction. This is World War III. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? Babylon is America, all right, in its context, all right, and how is Babylon become a desolation among the nations? I have laid a snare for thee, thou art also taken, O Babylon. Thou was not aware, thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against Yahweh. And this is what the world is not taking into consideration, that America is patterning itself after the ways of these ancient empires that was all destroyed for their wickedness. All right, America is no different, has amalgamated all these different kingdoms and philosophies unto itself. That's why it's called Babylon the Great. It's a great place of confusion and wickedness, and there's a judgment written in the scriptures and prophecy about America being laid flat, all right, destroyed with thermonuclear fire. And it reads, verse 25, Yahweh had opened his armory, and he had brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which is the thermonuclear missiles. That's that snare. All right, Esau, the so-called white man has used his military weaponry to strike fear in the nations, and it's the same uh, fear is going to get struck in these Edomites using their own weaponry. Yahweh had opened his armory, he had brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord Yahweh of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans. And everything is building up to this ultimate war to end all wars, all right, which is this nuclear destruction. And Russia is going to be leading the charge with China, Iran, all right, and other countries, and even the EU is going to turn their back on America and shoot missiles on this house. All right. Now I'm gonna go from there to Isaiah 14, and let's see. It says, "Yep, Okay, here we go. And this is talking about, uh, I mean, we can read down into it. This is Isaiah 14, and man, all of this is good. Verse 4, and it reads, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how had the oppressor seized the golden seed? All right, and the king of Babylon right now, the president that's in office, okay, Trump. All right, and he might be, the president to bring this place, America, to its end. All right, he might sit in office while America goes through its destruction of World War III. All right, we gotta wait and see. So it says, "How hath the oppressor ceased? How hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased." So this Babylon the Great, which is America, which is reigned by the Edomites in Psalm the 137, tells us that the Edomites are, he calls them the daughter of Babylon. All right, so this is the daughter of Babylon that's being ruled by the Edomites, and this place, America, has been nothing less than a oppressive city to the Israelites, us so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. The Golden City in this place, America, once was looked at as a beacon of light and a beacon of hope for the world, in this rich, luxurious place where you can come and have a better life for you and your family. All right, all the countries in the world once looked at this place like this is the place to go. Now they're looking at this place like hell no, because it's full of wickedness and then inflation. Isaiah 45, 14 and 5, and much more. All right, Isaiah 14 and 5, and Yahweh had broken the staff of the wicked, which again are the Edomites, and the scepter of the rulers. All right, so the power of Esau, the so-called white man, is being broke up. All right, his rulership and his authority is about to come to an end. He who smote the people in wrath with a continuous stroke, and no nation, okay, has took the brunt, more of the brunt of the blow from Esau than the Israelites. All right, and then the other nations. Okay, you know, the Israelites have been getting our asses kicked by these Edomites for centuries. Slavery, okay, what happened down in Central and South America, all right, and into this day, just a continual beating, all right, and also the other nations feeling this beating militarily and economically. All right, Esau is just oppressing the people. He that rules the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. So Esau, you Edomites, you trillionaires, you billionaires, you small hats, you banking families, all right, the Roths, right, children, and the Rockefellers, these elite banking families control all the resources of the world. They're doing the ruling over the nations in anger and persecuted and none hindered. All right, nobody can stop these devils because the Heavenly Father set them up to rule. All right, until Yahweh shall come and take them out of the rulership position. The whole earth is at rest and it's quiet. They break forth into singing. So when Esau go down and receive his judgment and go into slavery, the earth and the people in the earth are going to get the rest and enjoy this planet. The planet don't even get to enjoy itself. Yeah, the fir trees, which is twofold. The people and the trees themselves rejoice at thee. And the cedar of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. And the people in the scriptures are likened to trees in certain contexts. So since Esau, the so-called white man, is taken out of power, all right, it ain't gonna be no more war. All right, we read that in Isaiah the second chapter, and this deforestation that these Edomites got going on, that's no longer gonna be happening. The trees that are meant for fruit and to feed, the animals and the people ain't gonna be cut down. All right, Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thou coming. This is a low condition. Hell. All right. Hell is condition played in this context is the hell is a condition that's going to be played out. All right. You got hell as a condition. You got hell as far as the grave. All right. And you nowhere in the scriptures where you find hell in the context of burning. All right, under the ground in eternal fire. Satan watching you uh, mourn for us forever. It's not in the scriptures. It stirred up the dead for thee, which the dead are the other nations, even all the chief ones of the earth, because these other nations are going to come against you, Edomites, you elite Edomites. All right, all right. The head of these heathen nations are going to come up against you, Edomites. All right, mainly here in America. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? And that's how Esau right now is being looked at by the other nations. All right, especially when this nigga is in slavery. He's gonna be the worst. In the future kingdom is where this scripture really applies, where Esau is gonna be the lowest of all mankind on earth in the worst condition. The other nations, they're gonna be for the first 1,000 years in slavery. Esau gonna be in the worst slavery. All right. Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thou pomp is brought down to the grave in the noise of thy bowels. The worm, which is corrosion, is spread under thee. All right. And that's shown in Esau's infrastructure. His kingdom is looking weak, all right, infrastructural wise, morally, okay, economic, economically, this place is weak. The worms cover thee. When worms cover you, that means you dead, all right. That's what's going to happen. This place, America, is not going to get better, all right. It's only going to continue to, get worse and worse until it's ultimately destroyed. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, which is the Edomite? Okay, heaven represents a condition which is in his rulership position, in his blessing, in his lofty estate. Okay, and we read about that blessing in Genesis, the 27th chapter. Okay, how art thou fallen from heaven or from his rulership, O Lucifer, son of the morning? And that's Lucifer, just means light bearer, because Esau is the bearer of light right now. His light is wickedness. Okay, his light is the wrong way. His light. Okay, where his ways that he push out there for people to see is wickedness. How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations, Esau? What these nations gonna be saying, you damn Edomites. All right. And what we gonna be saying to you, Edomites, how art thou fallen? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? How is Esau weakening the nations? Through its military superiority and its weaponry. But thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of the Most High. All right, and you done that through his, you know, so you got this space station and satellites in the sky, to watch people and militarize the heavens to fight against Yahweh Ba Shemi Awashai. Okay, I will sit upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right, and Esau he brags, all right, and he takes pride in sitting upon the mount of the congregation, which is the Israelites, controlling us and having us in slavery. And the main place where in slavery is in the north, which is America. All right. Let's see. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, brought down to the ground. You're going to be taken out of power to the sides of the pit. They that see thee should narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man? You see, Lucifer is a man. It's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan. It's talking about these Edomites that made the earth to tremble. Who's bombed, all right, and went to war with everybody on the planet Earth. Now everybody's under their, this this man's rule, all right, or he'll come in and go to war with you. That did shake kingdoms, right? Through, all right, after what was that? Uh, Esau, when NATO dropped bombs on, well, when they dropped bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki and them other cities, the world was shook, all right. And then NATO during the Kosovo war dropped bombs over there. The world again in fear of that of the that fire coming from the sky that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof. Look at all the cities that these Edomites using America, all right, and NATO and the EU went, and then when they left, these cities were destroyed. That opened not the houses of his prisoners, and they put them under economic captivity after they come in and oppress, you know, after they come in and destroy the place with their military, they leave and they leave the world economically in shambles and in debt. All right. He says, all the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. That's in our kingdom. After 1,000 years, they're going to be tributaries to us, but they will get to enjoy, all right, uh, the Israelites' kingdom, all right, the crumbs of it. Verse 19, but thou art cast, which the crumbs is going to be good, going to be happy with crumbs, all right, but thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the remnant of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. All right, thou shalt not be joined with them in burial. So Esau is not going to get to enjoy even the crumbs of our kingdom. All right, he's going to be eliminated. All right, after 1,000 years of hardcore slavery, you Edomites are just going to be rid out of the earth because your only purpose was just to be wicked. We're not going to need wicked people in the earth anymore. All right, so you've accomplished your purpose, and now you're no longer needed. It says, but because thou hast destroyed the land. And why is this going to happen in Esau? Because he's destroyed the land. Who's destroyed the world more than these so-called white people? All right, the people of the world, the animals, the earth itself, the seed of evildoers should never be renowned. All right, so you Edomites are not going to be known for anything great. All right, as you try to put yourselves out there as somebody. All right, you're a bunch of nobody, a bunch of wicked motherfuckers. All right, so he's now famous. Okay, and that's what Esau wants to. He puts his name on everything, tell people how great he is. You're a nobody. You're the wicked that the Bible speaks of that's going to be destroyed forever after you serve 1,000 years of captivity. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the faces of the world with cities. All right. For I will rise up against them, said Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name, the remnant, the son and nephew, said Yahweh, that carry the seed. So ultimately, America, you Edomites, gonna be destroyed and cut off from the earth. I will also make it a possession for the bittern. This is America. And pools of water, I will sweep it with the besom of destruction. That's that nuclear wind, said Yahweh of hosts. And I was going to go into Psalms, the 10th chapter, but I'll stop right there. Let's see this Revelation 13th chapter. All right. And it says, let's see. Yep. This is Revelation 13 and 13, and I grab it here where my notes is at. Revelation 13 and 13. And it says, and he, which is America, and these Edomites that run America, which are the elite Edomites that control America, the elite banking family. And then he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on earth in the sight of men. Who did that first? You Edomites during Yugoslavia in the Kosovo wars, right? And then before that, with Hiroshima and Nagasaki and the other cities. Okay, it says, okay, yep, okay, that's it. Uh, that's it. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor. Well, real quick, let me go here. Let me go here real quick and finish it off with this. This is Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red. These are the Edomites. Edom means red, which applies to the Edomites in their skin complexion. All right, which they come from their forefather Esau, which his name in the Hebrew is Ishashua, which is wasted away. He wasted away. And what's wasted away? His pigment, his melanin. So these are Edomites from their forefather Esau, which they are red and their melanin has been stripped from them as a curse, and to identify who is the devil and the wicked that the Bible speaks of. And power was given to them that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So the Most High Yahweh and His Son Yahweh Shai gave these Edomites the power to take peace from the earth. How? And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Going back to Genesis 27, Esau got the blessing of the sword, meaning that the Heavenly Father is giving him, you know, the know-how, the technology to create these advanced weapons, all right, to have the advantage over the people and the conqueror. So again, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, giving all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Ba'asham, Yahweh Shah Ba'asham, Shakash, Rakatham, Shalom.